What is up? What is up? It's your boy, the Jacket Tech, coming back at you right here, right now, talking about these Oregon Ducks. Yes, last week was a little bit stressful. On defense, we didn't cover well, we didn't tackle well. Um, First game jitters, most likely. We have really a better team than that, and Mark Helfrich obviously knew that he was not happy going into halftime, and again, he was not that pleased with the defensive performance, and I couldn't blame him. As a fan, you were like, what happened? And the second day is not that bad. I think it was just what Helfrich said, a couple things here, a couple things there that Eastern Washington exploited for big plays. And now that they got the, first game out, they got those jitters out, those, you're a starter now. I think the second day is going to really come to play, especially because they've been taught. I mean, I'm trying not to be one of them, but that second day play was just horrific. Um, I was getting so frustrated with our team. I was so mad that we gave up 42 points to Eastern Washington. But they're a good team. After watching it a second time, Eastern Washington is a very good team with great wide receivers. Well, at least one very, very good one, who, in my opinion, will do well in the NFL if he gets in. If a team takes him, they have a great guy there because he's going to be able to, kind of be a Wes Welker type guy and do very well in the NFL. And now let's talk about this Michigan State game because that's coming up tomorrow. I do not feel confident. No, I don't feel confident because how could you? How could you possibly feel confident after a defensive performance like that? I know they're great. Easton was you don't win 11 games for nothing, even in a lower division, but it's still, I really hope John Neal is one of the best secondary coaches um, in college football. Uh, he's put out a whole bunch of talent. Um, and I think if he can do like his work and his magic, because he was not happy after, and he was probably the most pissed off person at the end of the game because he was like the one that everyone's looking at. Everyone's looking at John Neal saying, "What were you doing this summer?" Because you just got exploited by Eastern Washington team. So this Michigan State game, I think he has gotten the group a lot more better at just not trying to create big plays, but having the defensive coverage be well enough where that big plays just occur because you are playing the correct way. And hopefully that's what the Ducks defense is going to do is play big because they have to play big to beat Michigan State. That is a very good team. I don't think they have their offense was not running the ball well against their opponent, who, in my opinion, is a lot weaker than Eastern Washington. last week. But again, they probably weren't playing at their best. And unfortunately, I think that was a big thing with the Ducks defense too, is that they didn't play at their best because this was not a Division 1 opponent. You know, some of the guys may have seen this as, oh, this is a easy game. And that's what I think was great about Eastern Washington. Is they kept on scoring. They kept on saying, no, we're not your typical run them over team. Because there was a lot of times when Oregon could have easily gone and done blown them out and been like a 90-point victory, and no one would have been shocked because the Ducks could have played a whole lot better. They had a couple missteps with penalties. One drive for a touchdown was purely penalties. So I think their first game was a great, as I call it, an earmark of this is a play that will not, if we play this way against any team, especially a Pac-12 team, no matter who it is, if we play like this, we're not going to win a whole lot of games. And I think John Neal is telling his secondary, look, just go out there and play your game. Don't worry about, making a big play, but just play your coverage. Make sure you got the communication going because communication's the whole thing in football. If you don't know the right play, then it's just gonna be fuck all. I I really I really am nervous about this Michigan State game just because they have the revenge factor. But then again, that could also go against them because Oregon also, for the first time, is not the team that's suspected to win. They're suspected to lose. So that's interesting. And also, here's the thing. I think the Ducks do win this. I think the Ducks beat Michigan State 35-27. And trust me, it probably could go the other way. Michigan State is a very good team, and the way they play, you know, their defense is very tough. But I do think Oregon at least scores 35. Um, I do think Vernon Adams will play well. I don't think. I think if the Ducks have to rely on him, that's when you'll see a loss. If the Ducks have to rely on Vernon Adams and can't and become one dimensional, I think that that's going to be very bad. And